Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simply Spooky here on the Things Network for a Tuesday evening, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, dependent on where you are in the world. And this evening, it's myself as usual, it's Viv as usual, and it is Jamie, aka Parker. Hello, everybody. Have you all had a good week?
Hello.
Hello.
Have you had a good week?
Busy, but yeah.
Good. Viv?
Interesting.
Oh, I've been celebrating my son's birthday and just, generally
That was Jamie's birthday, wasn't it, the weekend?
Yes, he was 27, my youngest. God, I feel old.
No, he's a young whippersnapper at that age, isn't he? He's a kid at that age, 27,
Yeah.
27. Nothing.
Oh, I don't know so much.
I'm 38.
No, so were you booging it up all over the weekend? Were you throwing some shapes, as the kids say?
No, I wasn't. I was making kebabs and things for the barbecue.
Oh, very nice.
So I made some homemade kebabs and that sort of stuff, just to keep them happy. I had one drink. I was very good.
Wow.
And then I was home. I was home by 8 o'clock.
Ready on.
Did you mean you were kicked out so the youngsters could strap their stuff?
Yeah, something like that.
And Jamie, have you been working and what you do the weekend?
I worked very well over the weekend. I had all this, I don't know what this flu, high temperature.
Oh, there's that bug going around, isn't there?
Yeah, so I missed out because it was my dad's birthday weekend, and then watch football Sunday, see if Liverpool would win the Premier League, but that didn't happen by 1 point again. But no, it was
football,
all right.
Woo!
No, mate, it was all right. Was yours all right? Your weekend?
Yeah, it was all right, mate. Yeah, it was quiet. It was okay. It was not too bad. It was pretty chilled, I suppose, as you would say. But yeah, it was okay. So, as Viv's quite rightly put up there, please let us know if you're in the chat. Say hello, so we know that we are broadcasting loud and clear, and we know that you can hear us and see us and all of those good things. Well, maybe they're not so good, but yes. Thank you, Philip. Thank you. All is well. I hope
Hi, Philip.
Good your end,
Hi,
Philip. Hope it's good your side.
Oh, I like that picture.
Excellent.
Oh,
cool picture.
It's very dark and mysterious and moody. A bit like a conjurer type picture there.
Yes. It's a
Great
pretty cool
picture,
photo
Philip.
you got down on there, Philip. Well, so this evening we were going to talk about dreams, weren't we? And what the significance of them is, if there is a significance, if you think that they can produce information for what's going to happen in the future, if they're portents and all those sort of things. And I'll just start off by saying I think it's all nonsense. So we can finish tonight. No, in all honesty, I think there's certain relevance to certain dreams. I think it's stuff that dwells in your subconscious that needs to come to the forefront of your mind. And I think what happens is your subconscious drip feeds into your conscious. And there's also that belief, isn't there, about spirit world being able to contact and communicate with you whilst you're asleep. I actually believe that because I've had some pretty good dreams about some loved ones that passed on, and they left me in a good mood when I woke up. Sometimes they've left me crying, and I woke up actually with tears in my eyes.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah.
But I think that's to do with the sadness of not being with them. But it's lovely to spend that little bit of time with them, even if it is in just a dream.
Yeah.
But who knows what dreams are? This could be a dream for all we know, and the reality could be when we switch sides. Who knows?
Are you getting deep there, Dan?
I'm getting too deep there now. I'm going to put the waders on if I get any deeper.
I think, you'd be better off putting your armbands on because at least you'd be able to
float. Sorry, Philip says, thanks, laugh out loud. I can be moody, but I'm a happy mood today. I'm glad to hear it, Philip. Glad to hear it.
I just love that picture. He just looks like
that is a very cool photo, I must admit.
He could be an actor or do you know what I mean?
You're an actor, Philip. He might very well be an actor. But
we've scared him off now.
So
they don't want to talk to us.
We've got 2 people watching us. One of them's very quiet. I wonder if it might be the enemy. Listen. Might be the enemy listening in, trying to nick our ideas. I don't know.
Just don't mention aliens and government.
Don't mention aliens and stuff. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we'll be
aliens.
okay then.
Exactly. So, who wants to talk about Viv? What do you reckon about dreams? What's your ideas behind dreams?
Well, let me tell you something. When I was first plucked from obscurity, let's say, and put into this development circle for mediumship, and I was really trying hard to keep up with all these. They were a lot older than me, these people, more advanced than me. Well, I thought they were. And, you know, each week they'd send us home with homework. And this homework this particular week was really hard and I couldn't do it. And so I got the ump and took myself off to bed early, as you do. You know, I just had the ump with myself and I thought, sorry, I'm just going to have an early night. And I started dreaming. Now, I dream quite a lot, but this dream was quite vivid. And I dreamt of... I was in an industrial place. Now, it was all painted white. There were great big massive, I don't know, what would you call them? Containers, round cylindrical containers with something in there. There was lots of pipes, steps up, little bits of building. It was all painted white, really. And it was top security stuff as well. You couldn't just get in there. You have to go through security. And I'm dreaming about all of that. And then I saw a massive explosion in my dream. I remember this because I wrote it all down. A massive explosion. I saw people screaming and running, people on fire. People on fire.
Sorry, Viv, that froze then. I didn't hear it. Did everybody hear that? I didn't. Go on yet. Sorry.
So I saw people on fire and people trying to run away. And then I saw a secondary explosion. And these explosions were big and lots of big black smoke and the people died. So I thought it was very weird. And don't ask me what prompted me to do this, but I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And then thought nothing of it. 2 months later, I was watching the news and it happened to be Channel 4 news that I don't normally watch. We just forgot to turn the TV over. And then they reported a massive explosion at an oil refinery. And what I saw on the TV was exactly what I dreamt. They didn't show you people on fire, but they showed you it was all white. Everything that I saw in my dream was on the TV. So was it a premonition through dream? Because I think we can receive messages from spirit, like warnings and things like that. There was nothing I could have done to have stopped that from happening because this happened abroad. This was in another country, you know. So I don't know the significance of why I was being shown that, but I saw it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it made me sick because what I saw on the TV, I saw extra parts of it in the dream with people screaming while they were on fire, you know, a hard helmets being melted to their face and nothing you're able to do. You know, it was quite graphic what I saw, but they didn't obviously show you that on the TV. And I just sat down dumbfounded and I couldn't fathom why I saw that, what I could have done to stop it. I just thought it was a dream, you know, just really weird. So that was one experience that I had within a dream. So I don't think it's my subconscious talking because I wouldn't have known about this oil refinery place. I didn't know where in the world it was now. I can't remember, but what the hell was that, Dan?
I think there's portents, aren't there? I used to have, when I was a kid, I can only describe it now as looking back. I used to see things when I was a kid, and I used to think, I describe it as a waking dream because I don't know whether there's any, I don't know. I've never been able to explain it. But ever since I was a kid, I don't do it now, and it stopped when I was about, everybody's gone in the room. You all right there? Something's happening.
Yeah, you just froze.
I have these dreams where, well, I'll say they were dreams. I was fully awake, but I'm assuming they were, I don't know. For want of a better description, I used to see, up until I was about maybe 6 years old, maybe a bit older, 7, I used to see aeroplanes in the sky, lots of aeroplanes. And then what I would see is I would see paratroopers jumping out the back of these planes. and I would see them all above me, all coming down, all above me, all around me. And of course, as a kid, I just grew up thinking, oh, these are air displays. These are just displays that people are doing through the summer months, whatever. You know, you just think as a kid that's what it is. And I used to see them all around with the small, because I was born in Enfield and brought up in Enfield. And I used to see them all around by the small arms factories. I even saw them at the front of the window once. And I could never quite work out what they were, but they were all military planes. And there was all these blokes just falling out the back of them with all these, the old round parachutes. And they came down in there literally hundreds, or it seemed that way. And subsequently, I used to ask people, "What do you remember those demonstrations and that used to happen when we were kids?" And those blokes used to fall out, and nobody had experienced it. And I'd never mentioned it to my mum or dad because I just thought, "Oh well, you know, clearly they know what's going on anyway." And even to this day, it kind of like, well, that was like a waking dream? I don't know. Because clearly it wasn't happening, but it was. Was it me subconsciously projecting that? I don't know. But those are the type of things that, and they still, to this day, that still throws me. Because, who knows? What about you, Jay?
I've had dreams, but nothing like you guys, really, to be fair. It's more like deja vu dreams. You know, where you dream that you're going to go somewhere, and actually, a couple of months' time, you've actually gone to that place, but not thinking about it. You know, it's just happened. You think, I've been here before. You know, it's quite weird, kind of how to explain, because you go somewhere without thinking about it, but actually, you've actually been there before.
Yeah.
You know, and you think, oh, hang on a minute. Have I dreamt this? And then you start doubting yourself and you think, have I been here? Haven't I been here? You know?
Yeah.
But no, I just obviously, like you said before, like dreamt about family, you know, family dreams that aren't here no more. And unfortunately, I have woken up crying.
Yeah.
But it's only happened a few times. It hasn't happened at all, really. I do dream like Viv does, but it hasn't. It's not. It's mainly like deja vu dreams, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I often wonder actually whether, because you've got. I mean, I often think to myself, well, is it a case that we're dreaming? This is something we constructed ourselves in our own subconscious, or hi, Jacqueline, or is it something to do with the Akashic records? Are we sort of, when we're in a dream state, when we're in that lull, you know, when we're just going to sleep or just awake, or even if we are asleep, depending on how deep we are we actually connecting with the Akashic records, which is the information of everything that's happened, will happen, and has happened. It's like everything that's ever been and will ever be and will ever exist is out there in a pool of information in something called the Akashic records. And when we fall into that dream state, do we then tap into these records, and do we get sort of premonitions?
Is that when people are getting into a deep sleep and can achieve rapid eye movement?
That's what you call it. There's one called hypnagogic and one called hypnopompic, isn't there? Hypnagogic, I think, is when you're going to sleep, and hypnopompic is when you're coming through it. And I often wonder, when you're in that dream state, not when you're going in or coming out, but when you're in it, when you're asleep and you get information, are we actually downloading stuff from the Akashic records?
But does your hypnopomp attribute to your psychopomp?
It could do. It's all pump.
It's all a bit of pomp.
It's all pump.
It's interesting though.
But it is interesting. It is interesting. It's just, I mean, who knows? Who knows what? As my friend used to say, who knows where Hugo the hippo goes? When Hugo the hippo goes, no one knows. But it's just odd, isn't it? It's odd.
Dan, but you know what? It's and I'll bring it into the ghost hunting side, because I had a very, very physical psychic attack, right? I will call it a psychic attack. I was attacked by something, and something followed me home. And when I went to bed, it was when I got into bed that the actual attack happened. And it waited until I was asleep, put its hands around my throat, and in the dream state, it was lifting me up and I was choking, and it threw me against the wall. And when I hit the wall, bang, I woke up. I actually slid down the wall and then woke up. Now, what I find quite interesting, it was horrific for me at the time, but now it's interesting because I then got scared, cuddled up into Andy, like held on to him for dear life and forced myself to go back to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I had the finger marks round my
I
neck.
remember yes.
And, like the two thumbs here where it had been into my neck, and all round here I had the finger marks. I had the bruises down my arm, on my hip and on the side of my leg. Now, could I have caused that myself through my dream state? Can we sort of project injuries? And it's a really weird one, because in my dream, I was really and truthfully being physically attacked. But physically, I ended up with these injuries. Now, I know it wasn't Andy that did that. It's more the other way around, me beating Andy.
Yeah, Andy's a gentle soul, isn't he?
No. So it makes you wonder, could I physically have manifested those injuries through my dream state?
Or when you're in your dream state, are you then in their reality?
That's a good question. That's a good
Is their
answer.
reality the dream state? So we're going into their reality, so therefore they can wait for us to go in, and then they can manipulate us and become physical with us, whereas outside of it, perhaps they haven't got that strength. Hi, Chantal.
We're just discussing dreams.
We are.
Not dirty dreams either. These are good dreams.
For once.
For once, we're being
For
clean.
once. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Are we, when we enter that dream state, do we enter their reality? Do we then enter somewhere where they can be physical with us? And when we come out of it, can they not be physical with us? I mean, it all depends on how it works, doesn't it? It's really weird.
So Parker, like, there's been that, that woman that had married or had a boyfriend that was a ghost, and she got married to him, and she's having sex with a ghost and all that sort of thing. Now, is she doing that in her mind, in a dream state, do you think? Do you think this could be a thing that somebody could physically do?
Well, you got things like the like the demons, haven't you? The sex demons. I mean, that they are said to attack in your sleep, aren't they? When you're asleep and you're most vulnerable is when they come knocking.
When you're most vulnerable is when you're asleep, isn't it?
Exactly.
When you don't know what's happening.
Exactly. So there's lots of cases of that, isn't there? But
incubus and succubus.
Succubus, yeah. Is it? I mean, it's a really odd, isn't it?
It's called an incubus and a succubus.
Okay.
And one goes over to attacks males.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And the other one attacks females. So
you can tell the difference. Do you know how to tell the difference?
Is it the incubus is for men?
The incubus is the male, and the succubus is the female. Apparently.
I'll keep you in mind.
You know what, though, Jamie? When we go to the ancient ram, it does have a succubus.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it goes for the men.
Oh.
Allegedly.
And that's my birthday.
People moan about them. They say that they come in the sky as the most beautiful beings. And I'm thinking, what's your problem?
Parker, it's going to be your birthday when we go there. So all I can say is happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday.
I'm not being held responsible for nothing. But apparently, when Ghost Adventures went there, apparently it affected. Is it Aaron Goodwin?
Yeah, because I would think no self-respecting ghosts want to go near the other one, are they? Aaron seems a decent. Just go with it, Chantal. Just go with it. And we have. Look at us. It is an interesting theory, isn't it, that people do have these experiences. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think to answer a lot of these questions, we've got to first. I know it's a philosophical and evangelical, I guess, in a way, but you have to look at the idea of what is reality. I guess what is reality.
Yeah, but Dan,
what is the fabric of reality?
There's been people. Now, Jamie will know about these. There's been people that claim that they can astral travel when they go to bed, right? And when they wake up the next morning, they're knackered.
Yeah.
Or, this astral, I've never been able to do it. I've done some courses and it's never happened to me. I've had one experience with this, which is a mini out of body, I just want to call it. And it was a period in my life when, and it wasn't Andy, it's before I met Andy. My partner at the time used to beat the shit out of me, and I went to bed. He was away. I went to bed black and blue from previous beatings, and I know that night I cried myself to sleep. And this is weird now. I saw myself laying in my bed. So I was rising up. I was looking at my ceiling. I turned myself over, saw myself sleeping. I then turned myself over again. I went up to the ceiling, and then the ceiling was on my face like this. And then I was going into the ceiling, and it was hurting my face, really hurting. Like I couldn't get past that ceiling, and I remember shouting out, and then I woke up in my bed thinking, "Oh Jesus, my face is hurting." Again, I just think that was psychological because I was going through something at the time. But people claim they leave their body, they go on an astral travel somewhere, visit their mates, have a jolly up in their house, and then come home. And I'm thinking, really? How can that happen? How can you do that?
Well, people go around the world, don't they? Think of the money you could save if you could do that.
I'd go out Bigfooting and all sorts of stuff. Wouldn't you, Dan? Wouldn't you, Parker? Yeah,
I would as well, to be fair.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't be.
Dan, I can't hear you. He's frozen. I'll see you later, Jacqueline. Have a good circle. Oh, we got him back.
Bye, Jacqueline. Have a good night.
What was you saying previous, Dan? Because you was a bit mumbled there, mate.
Oh, no, it all went... I don't know. I've forgotten.
This is age.
Was you dreaming?
This is age.
It just went all weird. Where's my age? It went all weird on me. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting subject, really. But I guess the answers are in what's reality and what's
it's funny though, because people, when they're in bed, and I've had this, you wake up for no reason in the middle of a lovely dream or whatever you're having. You wake up in the middle of and I know I've woken up, and I looked at the end of the bed, and there's a figure standing there that shouldn't be there. And that report happens so many times, especially within the paranormal community, that people see something standing at the end of their bed. So are we being visited while we sleep? Not just by loved ones, by doctors, nurses, health people? Who
knows? Often, the thing I ponder is when I go ghost hunting, I ponder, what are these energies? What are they, really? Are they what they're purporting to be? Are they what we're led to believe they are? I believe that, there are spirits of people deceased that you can communicate with, and without a shadow of a doubt. But it does make me think...
Are we being lied to, Dan?
Well, that's the thing. Is it something... Are we told we're one thing? Because even though you can say, well, there's an energy, I think the best you can really say is there's an energy here.
Yeah.
I don't think you can say... Well, I think you can if it comes forward and it shows itself as whatever, and you can say, this is Uncle Bert or whatever, and dirty. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, but is it? Is it that, or is it something else? It could be
something else.
Yeah, and I often wonder. For me, at the back of my mind, are these things fae?
Oh yes.
Is it fae? Because they're well known for playing tricks on people.
They're
well known. Every house has got one. Every house, irrespective of whether they think it or not, has got a brownie. I'm not on about like brownie in the sense that you eat, but like the brownie, the toilet brownie. There's a big brownie in that amber turd, and
it could be. Yeah, but Dan, it could be a ghost turd. You don't know.
It could be a ghost turd. It could be. I can't really talk to Amber because every time I mention her, I'll get flushed. But no, it's weird, isn't it? It's odd. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's. I do begin to wonder. I do think, are these fae? Is a lot of this fae? And when I've been on investigations and there's been somewhere, and it's always been near a woods or what have you, I've often wondered, I don't know if these are human spirits we're dealing with. Are they something other than? Are they dimensional? Are they fae? What are they? What's going on here? And can they affect your sleep? Can they affect your dreams? I bet they could. I bet they could easily affect your dreams.
What about if you slept in a really old historic bed? Now, there's been some hotels that I've seen, lots and lots of money to stay there, I might hasten to add. I've not slept in these beds. And they have old beds of past kings and queens, seriously, with the original mattresses that you can sleep on. Do you reckon do you reckon that these old beds can also affect dreams?
Oh yeah,
spirits coming to you in your dreams.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Yeah. And something else I believe as well, and I believe in this completely. And actually, science is now more or less saying, yeah, look, this is a reality. We think this is absolutely what has happened. Is something called genetic memory. So you have memories of a past life, or you have memories of a certain situation, or a past event, or what have you. Well, you could be living that through the DNA of your ancestors.
Oh shit!
So you could be passing down. So, like for example, I used to, when I was a kid, have lots of things about trenches. Used to have dreams about trenches and stuff like that. And I always thought, oh, that's odd. Don't know why I'm getting this. Don't know why I'm dreaming of like war and stuff. Can't get my head around this. Then it turned out my granddad fought in trenches in the First World War. So he'd gone through that. And then obviously he'd had children when he came back. And then are those genetic memories passed down through your DNA? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Are you unlocking? So what you're seeing, what you're experiencing.
It's funny you say that because, I like my knives.
Yes.
And my swords. And my granddad used to have a military sword that he used doing something terrible. We won't discuss that because that's for another show. And I used to dream of like cutting people with knives and things like that. Do you think I've got that from my grandfather or his father?
I think it's
because
possible.
They're all military.
I think so because it's military, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you think as well, mental health, they say it's hereditary mental health. Well, that's on that's on a genetic code, isn't it? That's the DNA thing. Oh, it's handed down through your DNA. It's handed down through. So if that mental disorders can be handed down through your DNA, why can't memories? And they are looking at that now. They're saying, this is a bona fide thing. We think that it is the DNA that's handing down these memories.
So I'm going to get dementia anyway, so I'm just going to forget the lot and make it up.
Well, it does make you wonder. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does,
makes you wonder. It's intriguing. It's intriguing, isn't it? That, you are having these sometimes nice memories, sometimes horrific memories that perhaps your ancestors have had, and that's what we're mixing when we're going into other lives. Are we actually going into the lives of our ancestors? Are they not our previous life?
I don't know about you guys, but
that we're living, which is eternity, as they say. Eternity is having children, and then them having children. So are you also adding to that mix your memory? So are you then living eternally through them as in memories and
that can come in through dream states?
Coming through dream states. It's really odd.
What you really going to say, Parker?
Sorry, mate. Sorry,
that's right, mate. I think it's like, when we've all done it, we're watching a film on telly, like I did it the other day, watching Sabre Pride of Ryan, and then I actually dreamt I was there, because obviously it was going in the background, and then, I was actually there doing what they were doing on the film. Because you're dreaming it, but it's on in the background. I don't know if
it could be.
Do
you know what I've often thought as well, and it hit me one day. We were doing an investigation over in St Albans, well, actually not in St Albans, over that way, and we were in a pub, and we kept getting EVPs, and they were gobbledygook. And I'm thinking, and then it dawned on me, we're doing this in the early hours of the morning when people are asleep, and people in their sleep speak gobbledygook and have words that have no relevance. Are we actually picking up on them? Is what
did you
we're
play it
hearing?
backwards?
Are we picking up on what they're saying? Fractured sentences or fractured words and things that are not maybe relevant? And are we connecting with them when we ask questions? are they subconsciously hearing us on a different level and then regurgitating or answering the questions?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I mean, it's just,
Do you know,
who knows?
some people say that, or claim that they can read your dreams. And when I did one of my, I did a couple of courses, and one of them we did dreams. This will make you laugh, Dan. So for homework, we were told, keep a dream diary for a week and bring it to class. We will discuss. We'll start dreams next week. So, well, okay, this will be interesting. Anyway, she said you had to, soon as you keep your paper and pen by your bed, soon as you wake up, start writing everything down. What you see, if you smelled anything, did you see it in colour? Was it in black and white? Every detail you can remember, she said, write it down. So I couldn't remember any of my dreams when I woke up in the morning, but for one. So that was the one that I took into class. And I remember in the week I'd been watching some, I don't know, war films and about concentration camps, blah, blah, blah. So therefore, I dreamt about a concentration camp, about walking in, seeing a barbed wire, seeing the high walls, going through a door, being pushed in, being stripped of everything, and then I wake up, right? So apparently they can read your life or what you're going through at the minute through your dreams, as to the barbed wire meaning something, the colour of the walls meaning something, where I was meaning something, being pushed in and stripped of everything meaning something. And to me, I'm sitting there thinking, no, I watched a concentration camp film. But she was giving me a full-blown reading. But apparently this is really common, people dream of losing their teeth, or their teeth falling out, or their teeth getting loose. And apparently that's supposed to mean something, an insecurity of something. But I've never dreamt of having loose teeth. That would frighten me. That really
I have.
would.
I've dreamt teeth getting loose and coming out and stuff, and whatever, for whatever reason. The nicest dream I ever had, actually, I've never ever told anybody about it. It was a friend of mine when I was only a kid, and he got killed.
Blue, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. I saw him on Saturday night. I met him on a bus on the Saturday night, and I sat next to him, and it was the last time I ever saw him, because the Sunday he got killed. And he was going to his nan's, and I met him on a bus coming over in Southbury Road, Enfield, and he got on a bus together with his little brother, and we were just having a chat and a laugh. And I said, I'll see you Monday, see you at school Monday. And of course, God love him, he never made it, because he got killed on a motorbike on the Sunday. And I remember not giving it, I mean, obviously I thought about it because he was a mate and I was young and it was impressionable. It's probably the first close brush with death that I'd ever experienced, like as far as I can remember. And I remember dreaming I was at a massive party where there were like just thousands of people, like thousands upon thousands of people, and they're all mingling and all chatting, and they was all like having a social and da-da-da. And then the crowd parted. I walked into the middle, and this crowd parted, and my mate was standing there. And I said to him, Matt, what are you doing here? You're dead. And he looked, I know.
That's nice.
I said, Matt, what are you doing here? You're dead. And he looked at me and he laughed and he went, no, I'm not, Dan. No, I'm not. He went, you don't die, Dan. And that was it. I woke up. And it was like, wow. What a message that was, you know. And I never ever told anybody that before, that one. But it's always stuck with me. And I always kept it private. But I thought, you know what? If other people can benefit from it.
Yeah.
Because it was so real. Yeah. And there was all these people. And of course, when you wake up, you think, oh, I wonder if their souls meet like with their family in dreams, meeting their family for the last time to say goodbyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is it. Yeah. Maybe you get the opportunity now and again. Never had it with my family, mum and dad or anybody, or my brother, but I did with Matt. And I remember I think he was 15.
Oh, wow.
So he was only a kid,
Yeah. That's lovely, but that's lovely.
It was great, but he laughed and I laughed because it was like, oh, what fucking idiot am I? You know what I mean?
Well, he knew you well.
He knew me well. He knew me very well. He was a good mate. And that was that. But
Chantel says, I can go to sleep, dream vividly, wake up, pee or whatever, then I go back to resume the same dream. I've done that. That is cool.
Yeah.
Particularly if they're sort of naughty wet dreams, that'd be the best one.
Oh, Dan!
I have
Trust
had wet
you.
dreams, but then when I've woke up, I've actually wet myself.
Oh my God.
But that's
I know, he's terrible, isn't he?
you know, I've got to be careful with my tongue. Sorry.
Well, I've dreamt, you know, these people that say when you dream that you're falling, if you hit the bottom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I dreamt I was falling and I hit the bottom, but I woke up with a jolt when I hit the bottom. I'd fallen out of bed.
I don't think I've ever dreamt. I've never dreamt
Yeah.
of falling, and I've never dreamt the flying's meant to be one. I've never dreamt of flying either.
Yeah, but when I was falling, I was dreaming that I was falling off the edge of a building and it was all like nice shiny windows and I was waving at people as I was coming down. And then I hit the bottom. Yeah, then I hit the bottom and I woke up and I'd fallen out of bed. Seriously, and that bloody hurt, that did. Oof. You're gonna read this. You're gonna read this.
Yeah, Chantel says, I've done that, Dan. I was 13. I dreamt I was at a circus and really needed to pee. And when I found the toilet in my dream and peed, I really peed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chantel, you say 13. You probably mean 23, don't you?
I've done that as well, though, to be fair.
I've done it. I've
You've
done it.
dreamt
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're on the toilet and you've actually peed the bed.
Yeah, it wasn't a pee I was having, though.
Oh, Dan, behave yourself. He was having a ghost poo.
Ghost poos. No, but yeah, no, it's that's funny, that is, Chantel. Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? It's weird. Dreams are weird. As for people being able to read your dreams and come out and
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't give that much credence, to be honest.
I don't, because I proved this woman, she was supposed to be this big, you know, important dream reader, whatever you want to call it. And I sat in that class because I needed to do it as part of my studies that I was doing. And I sat in those lectures and I thought, what a load of rubbish. That was just me at the time. I was just thinking, because she picked me and I went through my homework and then I was just going, oh yeah, this. And I'm thinking, no, I was watching that. I was watching that on the telly the night before.
Chantel said, look, 13, no older.
The other thing is when you're drunk, dreams when you've had intoxicating liquids or other substances, your dreams can really intensify. Some can be nice and some can be really scary. But do they actually have any meaning?
I just think that dreams are a subconscious way of telling you, look, don't do this, don't do that. You're a moron. Stop this. Don't go near there. Don't touch that. Don't take your finger out of that. Just don't do these things. Don't do these things. I think that's your subconscious saying to you, look, just this is the way you should be living.
Yeah.
Don't do these.
Don't do that. Yeah.
You know,
like warnings.
Yeah, just saying. You know, look, this is your common sense speaking. Now you're asleep. Because I know what you like, so don't do this, don't do that, because this is what can happen, or that's what can happen, or. But I just think it's your subconscious. I don't think it's anything. I mean, subconscious is a magical thing, clearly, but I just think it's your subconscious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just like you didn't wet yourself when you were 32. We know you too well, Chantal. We know you too well. But yes, it's an interesting subject, though, isn't it? Nonetheless,
I think so. I also think dreams can sort of, you know, as oh God, what's that guy's name? Philip.
Freddy Krueger.
No, the very good-looking actor type, mystical man, Philip. He said, what did he say here?
Oh, Philip. Sorry, yeah, Philip. Yes.
Philip.
In the chat, Daniel.
Yeah, he said subconscious is great and mysterious tool. So, you know, is our subconscious mind being mysterious through our dreams? Is our subconscious telling us things that we need to know through our dream states, or is our subconscious lying to us?
Well, I often wonder if our subconscious is actually our conscious. Is it that part that is laying dormant that needs to wake up? And is it feeding information through to us from that part that when it becomes fully active, you will be able to find a way of curing yourself of these illnesses. You will be able to do this.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing, Chantel. I'm saying nothing.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, is it your, is it your conscious? Is it that untapped part of the brain that once you
Or
open it up?
is it us relieving ourselves? And I don't mean like having a wee or doing the other thing when I say relieving ourselves. I mean relieving ourselves of any sort of inhibitions or thoughts that we're harbouring. It all comes pouring out of us in our dreams.
Yeah, it could be. It could be like a pressure valve, couldn't it?
Yeah.
That releases all of that pent up frustration and anger by doing that. It's the subconscious is such an amazing thing, such an amazing magical thing.
So I'm going to talk about Dan. You're going to
talk
laugh
about
at this. So we went on this investigation, and you come back to my house. We have a coffee.
Sorry, I was just looking at Chantal.
Before
my subconscious is an asshole.
So Dan, we have a coffee and we have a little chat before Dan goes off. He makes sure he's fully awake before he sort of drives off home to his wife and children. And this particular time, he sat down and we were chatting, and I fell asleep. Right? Telly was on.
God, yeah.
I fell asleep in the chair. Dan fell asleep on the settee. And I woke up to hearing Dan in a loud voice going, yep. I went, what? And I looked at him. I was like wide awake then at that point. I looked at him. I went, what did you say, Dan? And he said it. He repeated it. He went, yep. I went, oh, that's nice. And I thought, I'd turn my back on him, just go back to sleep with him. It was quite funny.
Hazel gets it all the time.
Startling at the same
I
time.
woke her up the other day and she said she was pissing herself laughing. I went, what are you laughing at? Well, because she woke me up. She said, to listen to you in your sleep. She said, you turned round to you and you had this northern accent. And you said, oh, look at the state of that lad's hat. Mind you, don't worry about that. You should see the suit he's got that goes with it. And I'm thinking, and then she went, you turned around and said, come over and have a look and see what you've won. And I went, what? She went, you're like a Northern Game Show host. I went, what? She said, you turned into a Northern Game Show host. I said, had I? She said, yeah, like really one of these old club comedians, like from the 70s. Yeah. I went, did I? She went, yeah. She went, and then the other day I woke her up, I turned around and she looked at me, and then all out of my mouth came, calling Dr. Handsome, come to the calling Dr. Handsome. And she went, you were talking about calling Dr. I went, what? She said, you were calling somebody Doctor. You made a tannoy noise, and then you were going, calling Dr. Handsome, come to the surgery, Dr. Handsome. I went, what? What the hell is going on in my head? I'm not right.
Do you remember dreaming about Dr. Handsome, though? I
don't remember dreaming about anything. Nothing. The rubbish that comes out of my mouth.
What about you, Jamie? Have you had any reports of speaking in your sleep?
I talk all the time in my sleep.
But all the time. Do you want to share anything? Any funny anecdotes from Nikki?
It's about something that I was apparently digging, and I was looking for a Polish man, but he was in the ground. I don't know what. I really don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Mm. Oh, that's weird. Chantel says she sleep texts people at night. Oh, it's funny. That's funny. Well, apparently, and this was years ago, I used to go to bed well before Andy. It's the other way around now. But Andy, I went to bed before Andy, snoring away as usual. He got into bed, apparently. I stopped snoring. And he got used to me because apparently I sleep with my eyes open. So my eyes roll back and you just see the
some people
whites,
do, don't they? Yeah.
And he's got used to that. And apparently he just got into bed and he was just nodding off. And I have no recollection of this. I sat bolt upright in bed, screamed, and I can't scream, by the way. I can yell, I can shout, but I can't scream. But I screamed, turned and looked at Andy, white eyes, then just fell back down and went back to sleep, started snoring. And apparently Andy did big time shit himself. He doesn't normally shit himself, but he did that night, he said. I have no recollection of it at all. So that was the only really weird thing that I've ever done in my sleep, according to Andy.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it?
What, the sleeping with your eyes open?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I've always done it.
So Net says, no one else can sleep when I do. I have sleep apnea and keep... Yes, a friend of mine just got diagnosed with that, actually. He's got one in masks now. But
well, we went
Oxygen.
to France. My good friend Tony, he was like that. He didn't have his mask on the first night because we got there quite late. And it was quite a weird sensation. You know, you can hear someone and then it cuts off.
Stop breathing, isn't it?
Yeah, and they grab a breath and it's like...
and then they start choking.
Well, he started snoring and I was like, do I just wake him up or... Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, no, Chantel.
Oh, what a shame.
We were going to take you to the...
catch up with you.
We were going to take you to the place where was it the incubus or the succubus?
Yeah.
Succubus.
We'll do it next time she comes over. We'll grab her and sort it for next time. It's not a problem. It's easy to get hold of that place.
Yeah. But it's bad. Sleep apnea is quite bad, though, isn't it?
It can be dangerous, can't it? It can kill you, can't it? If you,
it can.
Some people just don't stop breathing.
To do with the rhythm of your breathing.
Is it not to do with your flaps staying closed?
Something to do with your throat or something.
Your flaps in your throat. I'm just calling them flaps.
This mask just puts constant air through. But no, I don't know. It was just quite weird hearing him do it.
You got no idea, Chantal. No idea.
You want to come ghost hunting with us? You want to see Scary then? That's all right. I'll put you in a room with Jay and Dad. Yeah, they can just talk to you all night. Yep.
And if I start hosting a game in a northern accent during the night, don't panic. It's just my alter ego.
Just won something. But in saying that, though, sleeping can get you. It's been known. I've read the pages in the newspaper. You know, the Dear Deirdre papers, and
Deirdre.
You know, the problem page, and then you see my husband has been calling me some other woman's name over a period of time and all that. So it's actually sleep talking could get you into trouble if you were playing away.
Yeah, especially if they're not actually doing anything, but it's just something that they're saying in their head. They've read.
Eyes rolling. I haven't screamed in years. Don't worry. I can't scream. Honestly, I've never been able to scream.
That's what sleep apnea is. Dodgy, isn't it? It is
it
dodgy.
is. Yeah,
quite freaky when you hear it. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think Andy he suffers with that because he holds his breath. He snores really loudly, and then he does one big snore, and then I hear nothing, no breath, no nothing, and then I hear a choking, and then he starts snoring again.
I think you have to go to a sleep clinic or something to be diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
But they can also take away your driving license, can't they? Because apparently it's a lack of sleep and all that sort of thing. You could lose your driving license through it. So,
Which I guess if you're that much of a danger, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have somebody who's going to fall asleep at the wheel and kill some poor innocent dog driving around.
Yeah.
But, no, it's interesting. There's lots and lots of different things.
Where have you gone, Dan?
We're back again.
Back again.
Is it me or is it just going funny on this end?
I think it's your end, mate.
Yeah. It sounds like the scene from Little Nicky asleep on the radiator.
Oh, that's a great film.
Oh, love that film.
Never seen it.
I wish he'd do more films, that Adam Sandler.
He has done some funny ones over the years.
Yeah. You need to watch it, Parker.
Yeah.
Little Nicky. It's one of his best.
I mean, I don't know about dreams. I don't think that people can read them, to be honest. That's me.
Yeah.
Other people, you believe what you want, and I might be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but personally, I
What
don't
about
think you can read them.
reoccurring dreams? When you have the same dream, that is like the faceless man comes into your dream and he's chasing you down to the edge of the garden where you're trying to get over the fence, but you can't, and the faceless man's there, and then you wake up, and then a couple of weeks later you have the same dream about the faceless man, and it's like, where the hell does this faceless man come from? And
So
why
I
are you
never
having
used
the
to get
same
that. I
one?
used to get like massive robots, like at the back of the garden where Mum and Dad live. That used to be all like had a massive plum tree. Then Dad decided to get rid of it because it was dangerous. And so yeah, we used to play up there when we were the kids at the end of the garden under this plum tree. And then like you go in for tea and then go to bed, and then you dream that there's a massive robot like standing up in the garden, and then he used to chase you like around the garden and trying to get away from it. It was quite weird.
And you'd have that as a recurring
Yeah,
dream.
yeah, it used to carry on pretty much.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah.
Any recurring ones?
Yeah, I used to have one when I was a kid where I'd wake up in the early hours of the morning. Wasn't at home, I was in somewhere else, and there was a big hallway, and I'd walk down to this hallway and the door at the end of it with a light. But as I got there, the light would go out, and I'd try to go back, but I couldn't go back. And so I had to go to the door and open it. And then when I opened the door, people were there to grab me and drag me out to a woods. That was it. Then I'd wake up. And then I had no idea what that was about. They just dragged me from the house into a woods, and then that was it. Then I'd wake up. I have no idea. But I think what it is, I think a lot of the stuff that you see as kids as well, that you store these memories of things that maybe frighten you as a kid. Because we're all sort of susceptible, aren't they? And some of them kids' programs from the 70s were bloody freaky.
Yeah.
And
I
so
wasn't born, mate. Sorry.
you were lucky, mate. I'd say lucky and unlucky, because lucky in the sense that it was those type of programming that got me like I am today, I think.
Yeah.
Got me interested in the paranormal, and not all that you see is everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And freaky in the sense that it did scar. It does. They do scar you. Them things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see them things. They're with you for into young adulthood until you start thinking this is nonsense. Oh, okay, Chantel. I have 3 recurring dreams, mostly one that involves 7 tornadoes coming for me, but the scenery is always different, and I always wake up before they get me. But it's always 7 tornadoes, and they always come in straight at me. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a weird one. Did you watch? Now I'm going to try and psychoanalyze now. Did you watch the Wizard of Oz a lot when you was a kid?
No.
But did Chantel?
Yes. Ooh.
It's either that, Chantel, or you're sexually frustrated, and
she's looking out.
You need to go with your boyfriend or your husband straight away.
She needs a good
unbridled
BJ.
love for 24 hours with your partner, of course.
You know what I used to have, and this was not when I was a youngster. I was in my 20s. Now, I was taken for a very first date to the cinema to watch a horror film called Hellraiser.
Oh, great film, though, isn't it?
And it was frightening. And it was so frightening that I had to force myself to sleep in the cinema. I couldn't watch it. And then it was on the TV. And I was forced to watch Hellraiser. And I was a bit older then. And I could see more of the film that I missed way back when. But then it got too much for me and I had to turn it off. And everyone used to laugh at me. So for Christmas one day, somebody bought me the poster Hellraiser with Pinhead on it. And I said, you've got to stick this over your bed because it will help you get over your fear of Hellraiser. Because I couldn't sleep. Like I would be having nightmares and everything, get up, pacing the house, and go and have a cup of tea and listen to the radio because we didn't have nighttime TV then. And so, I would have off and on these bad dreams about Hellraiser until I met the man that played Pinhead himself.
I was going to say, you've met him, haven't you?
It all stopped.
You've met him, haven't you?
Yeah, it all stopped. When I met the man that played Pinhead.
He's lovely, isn't he?
He's lovely. He was giving me kisses and cuddles and he was making a fuss of me, and I was telling him about my issues and what he'd done to me, and he thought it was fabulous, and he made a fuss of me. And then my bad dreams and my fear of Hellraiser completely went away after meeting the man. So that's a bit weird.
It's like you've exorcised that ghost, isn't it? Chantel's put a few up. Would you?
Let's see what Chantel's been saying. Right, so.
Well, I think it's the reason that could very well be. Wait, what? That was an answer?
Yeah, about a BJ. She needs a BJ.
Freud. It's Freud, Chantel. That's what Freud says. All these obsessions, they come from sexual, being stifled sexually, I think is what he says. Well, get him back home then.
Yes.
Get him a ticket and bring him back. He's far away.
We better become closer.
Get him back home. Oh, out a netlock. I had one that I went out and everywhere was burning and people screaming. I walked up to this great big horrible thing and it turned around and said, next time you see me, you will have to give me these. And it gave me 2 gold coins.
Ooh.
That's
That's weird. That is odd.
Mm.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I think that's
right. But that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Yeah. They're funny things, dreams, aren't they?
They are weird. They are very, very weird. But interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're interesting. I like listening to people's other dreams. Once I've had this dream, so tell me what happened. It's interesting, isn't it? You know, sometimes you get an insight who they are.
Be good to read a book about, not a book about dreams, but people's dreams.
Other people's dreams.
Just like little stories of dreams.
Yeah. There's probably got to be quite a few books out there, I would imagine. But as I say, for diagnosing things through dreams and interpreting them, I think that's nonsense. I mean, I think it's nonsense, but as I say, I might be completely wrong.
I wish I could dream about winning the lottery and that coming true, but
I don't dream about it. I want it to happen.
Yeah, me too.
But I wouldn't mind 187 million. That'll do me fine.
Well, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that would be lovely. I would buy up all the haunted properties in the world, and then just us 3 could go in there, and nobody else.
Nobody else.
And then charge an absolute fortune because everyone does it twice.
If they were too scary, Dan, I wouldn't be going.
We go, well, we do know what we'll say. Look, it's too scary, but you can't go in. We can, but we're not going to. So,
Two dudes.
Oh dear, I'm terrible.
I can always remember my brother. We used to watch X-Files when it come out.
Oh, I love the X-Files.
And the music just used to put my brother off. And
that was me, Doctor Who. That was me with Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
The music was the music and the flashing lights was enough, and I was gone.
I used to love that as a kid.
And
it's rubbish now.
So we watched it, and that was all right. And then we got a bit braver, and then we watched Stephen King It.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, what, the original one?
Yeah, the original. And he had a massive phobia of clowns. Because he saw Pennywise and that was it. It was just...
It's gone. Yeah.
He was gone, yeah.
I've come up the quick bit. I was doing dancing overalls and everything.
I think that's brilliant. Oh dear.
You can't get better than the quick fit fitter. You can't get better than the quick fit fitter.
We
are the boys in blue. That was it. Was that Rescue 911 or 911? My childhood program memory.
Oh.
Rescue 911, 111.
Do you know what? I remember watching the Tomorrow People.
That was cool.
The Tomorrow People used to get me scared as well.
I remember that.
Watch that. You're too young. The Tomorrow People and the Armchair Thriller.
Armchair Thriller.
No. And the music for Tales of Unexpected with the woman's dancing like
cool.
this. She's doing all this.
Cool.
No.
I introduced Willow because we watch a thing. She watches it now and she's obsessed with it. And actually, it's really good. Ghosts, the BBC one.
Yeah. Which
is there's like 5 or 6 spirits that are trapped in this house. And, you know, it's really good. And so I introduced her. I said, I'm going to introduce you to the original one, which is the one that I grew up with. And the one that I was obsessed with as a kid was the Ghosts of Motley Hall. And I showed her that. And that still as good today as it was back in the 70s. But when we were growing up with the 70s and that, they had lots and lots of sort of paranormal programming for kids, didn't they?
Yeah. Rent a Ghost was one. I remember that
Oh,
one.
brilliant! Rent-A-Ghost is
Rent-A-Ghost.
absolutely superb. Rent-A-Ghost. Do you never seen that, Jay?
No.
Brilliant, Mr. Claypole, Mr. Noah Claypole, wasn't it?
Do you see anyone that's interested that doesn't know what we're talking about? YouTube Rent a Ghost. It's
And the
better
Ghosts
than
of Motley Hall, they're good.
and it's
You
better
won't be
than
sorry.
Scooby Doo. It's really dated, but these things
Oh.
are like Scooby Doo today is just like, ugh. It's not
Yeah.
even a proper Scooby Doo.
No, and none of them are. Tom and Jerry's not the same as it used to be when it was made
No.
in the sort of 50s and 60s and that. Was it, was it Mel Blanc and stuff?
But they didn't have, the Tom and Tom's mother. They owned the lady, the big coloured lady that used to beat the Jerry with a broom.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
I remember
Yes.
watching that one.
You wouldn't see any of those anymore. And,
No, you wouldn't.
And
But those are
Noddy-
all of their
Noddy.
time, aren't they?
Yeah, Noddy doesn't have gollywogs anymore either.
No, he doesn't. No.
Who was that? Noddy?
Noddy.
Yeah, Gollywogs. Annette. Also, Annette says, I'd love to go to Motley Hall. So
Oh,
did I.
yeah.
My favourite as a kid. My absolute favourite as a child.
Jay, you're going to have to Google all of these because you're too young.
Oh, and I watched Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry's classic, though, isn't it? Tom and
Yeah,
Jerry's
the old ones.
globally.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys, like, going back to dreams, have you ever dreamt anything and you woke up, remembered the dream, thought, oh, that's a bit weird, but thought nothing of it, and found yourself to be in the place of the dream that you just dreamed of? So not quite deja vu, because you've just dreamt about it, but then you've actually gone there. And so I only dreamt about this the other night, doing exactly the same thing I'm doing now.
Work. In my new job.
Oh, you dreamed of it and then it happened?
Yeah.
That's a recent one.
Yes. Yeah, it is recent.
I dreamed once, which is another weird one, that I was in colour. They say that most people don't dream in colour, but I do. I think I think some people, I think they might have it wrong. They say most people dream in black and white. I don't know. But I dream in colour. And I remember the one that's vivid, and still I've had a couple of them. One I told you about, Viv, that I'm not going to tell people because it was freaky, very freaky. But I dreamt one where I was cutting roses and plants. And I had.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
you can't say anything anymore.
Yeah,
no, you've got to be careful now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I was cutting like plants. I can't tell you what they were, roses, and there was also plants and stuff I was cutting. And I had this brown like cloth dress thing on, and I had this straw hat, but it was like the top of it was like just a normal hat thing, but the brim came out quite far and went round. It was like it was woven, and I remember looking, and there was monks. So I was dreaming I was a monk, and the monks passed me. But I looked up, and I could see over a wall, an ancient wall, a church spire. And then
like Italy
we went to
me.
Norfolk. And Hazel and me drove to where there's this little church down there because, let's have a look. And where it was standing by the wall, it looked exactly the same.
Oh,
wow.
That's
and
interesting.
I said to Hazel, I said, I'm not one for running away with flights of fancy. I said, but I think I know this place. I said, I think I've dreamt about this place, like in the last month or so. And it was weird. And she said, well, what should I do? I said, well, there's nobody there. And it was early morning. And I said, well, drive off and leave me here for a couple of hours. And I just sat there for a couple of hours, I don't know, just nothing. I didn't get anything from it, but it was peaceful and nice.
I mean,
I didn't get any.
Did she say you're a bloody weirdo?
She knows that anyway. She knew that anyway. She married me. But there was just an odd thing. It was an odd thing, but it was in Norfolk, and it was sort of Norfolk-Suffolk border, I think it was, if I remember rightly. And it was. You could see where the wall was. There was no garden there anymore, but you could see the wall, and there was this. You could see the church spire over where I like the dream.
Wow.
But it was weird. But I have no idea what that is. Sorry. Chantel, have you read? That's pretty cool, Chantel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Gift. That's a gift.
That is a gift.
Definitely.
Actually, I reckon if you got information put to you in cartoon like that, you'd probably be more accepting of it, wouldn't you? It wouldn't be so frightening, I wouldn't think. But that's interesting.
That is.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to speak to other people who have had those kind of experiences. I'm sure everybody's had those type of experiences.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah,
But they're quite profound when that happens like that, though, Dan. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but then I often wonder to myself, well, is it a past life? Like somebody said, I think it was a past life. But then you see, I've had a couple of people that are mediums come up to me and say to me, they've never met me before.
You're a monk.
You're a monk. You were a monk. And I'm, what? And they said it. Even this was after I've had all these weird and wonderful things about monks going through my head.
Yeah.
People have said, you realise you were a monk in a past life because you got that peaceful demeanour. And I'm like, me? Peaceful? I don't think so.
I really know you, do they?
No, they don't know me. No. I probably got thrown out of the order for swearing or something.
It's more true than you know. I laugh so easily. Things are funnier. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's quite a nice way of having dreams, actually, Chantal. That's quite a nice way, I think.
Do you know what Andy said to me this week? This will all make you laugh. Nothing to do with dreams. I was watching, and I love the film, and I was bored, so I put it on to watch again. And I was watching The Joker, and I made Andy sit and watch The Joker.
What, the new one?
Is it the new one?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. And I said to Andy, you know, where he laughs a lot. He's just constant laughing, and it was a mental issue that he had with the laughter. And I laugh when I'm scared. I said to Andy, you know, I laugh when I'm scared. He went, yeah. I said, do you reckon that's a mental issue? He went, yeah, definitely. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. Dan will tell you, I laugh, but I am pooing myself, seriously.
Yeah.
And
the more I laugh when I'm pooing myself, the harder it becomes to do anything. I'm just a heap. I'm a mess.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? It's like, it's weird, isn't it? How different reactions people... like my mum, I used to know when she used to get the hump, and I used to draw back because she'd smirk or she'd start to smile. And I thought, whoa,
there we go.
She's going to blow in a minute. I better shut up.
Yeah.
But it's weird, isn't it? Women are weird.
And men. Men are worse.
We are weird. We're a weird species, the human race. Very weird and very odd.
I've got little man watching The Andersons now.
So quick, before we go tonight, quick thing. Obviously, I know this is going away from dreams. Ufology.
Okay.
So the American government have let out that UFOs are a thing. They're a real thing. And they let out last week that these are some of the after effects that people have suffered from it.
but is that a South African thing? Because when you're being chased by an animal, they say don't run, don't they? Sit down or climb up high.
Or make yourself look as big as possible, innit? They say with a bear.
Yeah, big as possible, isn't it?
Do they get bears in South Africa?
I don't know, actually. Do you get bears out there, Chantal?
They get lions. They get lions.
Lions. I'm not sure about bears. I don't think they do they? They might do.
They might. Oh, Bigfoot bear. Bigfoot.
Mm.
I wonder if they've got a Bigfoot version out there of Bigfoot. Probably. It's a big enough, massive country, isn't it?
Yeah.
South Africa's humongous, isn't it?
But not a lot of
bears.
woodland, though, is it?
You what, mate? Sorry?
Not a lot of woodland, is it? I don't think.
I think it's got quite a lot of stuff.
They have.
Has it?
Not in the way that we know it. It's quite dry woodland, but they have woodlands out there.
Yeah, we ride lines on the streets of KFC.
Oh, that's the meat in KFC.
That's only if you're well hard or double hard.
That is true.
Yeah, you get on a big line. Barbary lion to KFC.
I ride lines to KFC. It's the Green Line.
Now, the Barbary line is a bit like your Mercedes.
Green Line buses.
Yeah.
Your Barbary line's like a Mercedes car. Like, you know, that's
your upmarket.
Yeah. And your more normal line is like your BMW.
This is true. But yes, what do you think? What do you think about this whole stuff coming out? Everything seems to be... See, I'm suspicious. Don't get me wrong. I believe that there are other life forms out there completely.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they've got here or not. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I think they probably might have. I don't know. But everything seems to be falling like dominoes, doesn't it? Now, this is a conspiratorial thing.
Okay.
On the back of COVID, you ended up with a war where Russia invaded Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got monkeypox
Yep.
and you've got UFOs. And it's almost to me like you're being funneled down this route. It's like you've been herded. They're using it to shepherd you down a route where you don't want to go normally, but for the benefit of yourself and for what they're saying, oh, it's for the better of mankind. And they're using these things. And I wonder, and something I thought of the other day when I was watching this UFO, and I thought, I don't know, man. That looks like that could be that sort of thing could be done with you know, the way they move, how quick they move, and how they spin, and that looks that could be done like a hologram.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the guy came out the other day and said, "You do realise they're doing all this with holograms, don't you?" And then it all fell in place. And I'm thinking, I wonder if this is to do because you've got the World Economic Forum, haven't you now?
Didn't
Which is
they
Klaus Schwab.
they released a report this week? Didn't the US government release some secret report this week about they have had alien contact and this is all it's
But
all
I
been
wonder, Viv, I wonder if that's the truth. Or I wonder if why have they sat on that for 60 years, 70 years, not mentioned a word of it. I'll tell you why. Because this plan this plan, me as well, Annette, this plan is almost like, sounds like I'm a madman, doesn't it?
You are.
But I am. But it does sound like it's a way of funneling people, sheeping people down into somewhere you don't want to go.
Mm.
And it's like, well, how can we control them? I know what we'll do. We'll sit on this for 50 years and we'll drip feed it. And of course, in 50, 60, 70 years' time, when we want to make
sure you got a decent bed in there.
There you go.
You got some dreams.
It is almost like they're shepherding you down into an avenue you don't want to go. And the whole thing with this World Economic Forum as well, I saw it today, that Klaus Schwab, and he was talking about we have got the way of remolding the world. And he's talking about the elite. And these are people that nobody voted for, nobody knows about. And he's German. And I'll be honest with you, I like Germans. I've got German family, but I don't trust Germans. I don't trust German governments as far as I can throw them.
No.
Because every time they've done this before, and I think that this now is almost like people say, oh, the Third Reich's gone. And my answer is, well, has it? Or has it turned into what we're seeing today?
It hasn't gone. It has always been simmering under the surface.
It's evolved into what's happening today, I think. But you know what? They want to come and get me. They are more than welcome to. Yes, he's absolute lunatic, Annette. Dangerous, horrible individual. But yeah.
So we've gone from dreams, UFOs, Schwab, and lunatics. The lunatics are taking over the asylum.
Well, do you know what? It was the CIA, wasn't it, who coined the term? They coined the term, didn't they? Conspiracy theorist, and it was just a way of undermining people that were getting too close to the truth.
To the truth, yeah, exactly.
What's on next week, Viv?
Oh, I know.
And blood.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Oh, I love you, Chantel. You're great.
Chantel, I'm going to tell you a rude joke, right? Okay, but I'm going to do it in a nice way. What did the what did the hurricane say to the palm tree? Hold on to your NUTS because this is no ordinary BJ. I hope you got to get that because it doesn't sound right when I say it like that, but I have to for Facebook reasons.
I might not be here tomorrow. I might be carted off somewhere.
So I have the jar of doom. The jar of doom.
Is this next week's, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to giving it a shake up. Right, I'm opening the jar.
Da, 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 da.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
prisons and how it can affect staff today. I suppose we mean working prisons, but
Yeah,
we'll
that'd be
so
interesting.
that'll be right up your street, Jay.
Mm.
So that's what we're talking about next week. And tomorrow, I'm just reading Chantel's comments.
I know.
I would have said, nice pictures, can I take you through? So tomorrow on Simply Spooky, over on the other network at 8 p.m, we have a Paranormal Pete, which is...
We do. Your friend
Pete
Viv.
Obia. Well,
What's his
somebody
name?
I know. P-O, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Obia.
How are you spelling that?
Obia. O-B-E-A. Obia.
Oh, okay.
Pete Obia, otherwise known as Paranormal Pete, will
Okay.
be on the show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. If you would like to join in and chat with us as we probe Pete in parts that he's never been probed before.
Poor chap. So he interviewed you when you were in the States, Viv, didn't he? You were at a Paracon, weren't you?
Yeah, he runs the Port Gamble Ghost Conference. He's a ghost hunter. He's a podcaster. He's a musician. He's actually in a band. And
Guy.
yeah, and he also helps on the town council for the town council. He works on the town council for Port Gamble itself. He's quite high up in the council chambers and things. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, look forward to speaking to him tomorrow night.
Oh, thank you, Annette.
Oh, thanks, Annette. We'll look forward to speaking
lovely.
tomorrow
I'm
night.
going to call Annette the quick fit lady. Yeah, I've got visions of her wearing these blue boiler suits now.
I feel like going up to Annette and going, "Hello, Annette. Have you got time to look at me undercarriage and give it a tweak?"
Oh, woman.
Oh, excellent. Have you
had me probing. Yeah.
You do need to get that boyfriend of yours back pretty sharpish, to be honest, Chantal.
Well, no, keep him over there. Keep it as an open relationship. Just friends with benefits. You know, the
But
more
they're
the
probably
better.
1,000 miles apart. She needs to get him closer.
Yeah, but the more friends with benefits, the better. She's only young.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Well, it's one of them evenings, Chantal, tonight. I don't know what's got into me.
Dan's
Something bad.
disgusting.
That dream, probably.
He's even worse. He's even worse when we're in the car driving home for an investigation. He's blue,
Yeah.
isn't he, Parker?
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm like one of those 1970s club, Manchester club comedians, and just filth comes out of my mouth.
I'll tell you what happens. If we go past a sign that says 2 words.
Oh,
Oh, I'm going to say it. So Dan does it
down
for
the
you.
market. Down the market. Doodly doo, doodly doo, 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 doo.
Down on Market just does it for Dan.
It does it for me. Down the market.
Only one for me. Oh, bless her.
Good.
That's where she's going wrong.
Good
She's
girl.
going wrong.
No, you're doing the right thing there, Chantal.
Bless her.
You're doing the right thing there.
Where's that place called, Dan?
Down the market.
You know, when we go to Down on Market, there's hardly anything there either. Nothing special.
No.
Right, so
everybody.
we're going to close this early.
Thank you very much for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been lovely in the chat. It's been really nice. It's lovely to see you again, Chantal. We wonder where you've gone to. We know you have problems with your connections over there. So it's nice that you were here for
most of it.
And thank you, Annette. Lovely to have you again tonight. Brilliant. Absolutely.
and
I hope to see you all tomorrow night, hopefully. At 8 o'clock, isn't it, Viv?
And a big shout out to Philip as well.
And Philip. Is Philip still there? Thank you
I
very
don't know.
much, Philip, for coming along and joining in. Been absolutely brilliant to have you on board. And we'll speak to you next time. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. Stay safe.